Hey guys, Goggsy here, and welcome to a stream that we're going to be doing for Euro 2024 qualifying draw. Today, being joined by Alex Marr. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. How are you getting on yourself?
After yesterday, I feel a bit better because I was able to shout at the referee because he was very, very, very poor. But enough of that. You got a good result yesterday as well.
Very pleasing. I think all games should now be 6 o'clock kickoffs. That's the new uh,
That should be the
the new
new meta.
opinion. To be honest, I actually really like 6 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday. I think they're really great anyway. But
Mhm.
it was bouncing, and it was great to see all the Aberdeen fans leave by 7:30.
Oh yeah.
And one of the funniest own goals I've ever seen. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant. We'll get the comments on. So it's been a while since I've done this, so I'm a bit rusty. Oh, look, he actually commented on this like 5 minutes after I set up the stream at 1:20 in the morning. So I respect the hustle there. Kieran, Dean McDonald, yeah, I'm all right, mate. Davy Pat, Greg Livingston, and Sir Scotty. It's on the UEFA.com website, the stream. Uh, Oh yeah, don't mention yesterday's result at all. Goggsy brushed his hair with a bang. I can't really find the comb at the moment. Mrs. has sort of hoarded them. But anyway, before we get into this draw, we've got about 14 minutes till it starts. Let's just get a run through the pots quickly. So first of all, they're going to be splitting the pot one teams into two pots. They've got the UEFA Nations League pot, which will be Netherlands, Croatia, Spain, and Italy. That's for the teams that are actually going to be doing a mini tournament in June next year, which we'll talk about in a bit. Then the rest of the pot one teams are made up of Denmark, Portugal, Belgium, Hungary, Switzerland, and Poland. So there's a few favourable teams that we could hopefully get in there if we avoid the big ones. In pot two, we've got France, Austria, Czech Republic, England, Wales, Israel, Bosnia Herzegovina, Serbia, Scotland, and Finland. Of course, we can't play any of the teams that are in that already. In pot three, there's a few big names to avoid in Ukraine, Iceland, Norway, Slovenia, Republic of Ireland, Albania, Montenegro, Romania, Sweden, and Armenia. Uh, Pot four is Georgia, Greece, Turkey, Kazakhstan, Luxembourg, Azerbaijan, Kosovo, Bulgaria, Faroe Islands, and North Macedonia. That's a pot for the Scrabble letters. Pot 5, Slovakia, Northern Ireland, Cyprus, Belarus, Lithuania, Gibraltar, Estonia, Latvia, Moldova, and Malta. And in pot 6, there are only 3 teams in Andorra, San Marino, and Liechtenstein. What do you make of that, Alex?
It's a very unusual seeding because obviously it's based off the Nations League, and the Nations League was very weird this year.
It was.
In the fact that France almost got relegated. I mean, they needed results to go their way on the final match day. So should I probably answer that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You know your shit about this.
yes. So it was a number of things that were being trialled. With it being a 6 o'clock kickoff, it meant that it could be used as a pay-per-view match, one of the 60 pay-per-view matches across the season, because those matches can't take place on either a UEFA match day or a Saturday 3 p.m. It was also an agreement between the clubs to trial a new kickoff time. There was a chat that it was going to be a trial for US television. However, it wasn't selected to be broadcast in the US, which was quite odd. Which, okay, I don't know. Like in theory, for example, the Aberdeen Dundee game a couple of years ago, that was a 7 o'clock kickoff. That was
Yeah.
shown in the US, but this one wasn't for some reason.
Was that wasn't the 7-0 game, was it?
No, that was because that was I think that was a midweek game at
Ah,
7-0. I think it
well,
was
maybe
really
that's
bad. I think
right.
it was a 0-0 or like a 1-0 game. It was pretty
Mhm.
horrible. But yeah, I don't. I feel like they're kind of half trying things.
Yeah.
It was a great atmosphere. Aberdeen brought 4,000, which is great considering the trains were on strike and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
didn't
the
know you
thing
could
with
fit how many
every
people
goal.
on the track there. Sorry, I have to get these in. I used to live there, so I have to get these.
But
And
anyway, back on the draw.
yes,
The talking point will be that we can't play England and France, and I'm actually
as
glad that
well.
we can't play Israel or the Czech Republic, so that's pretty good as well, because these sort of draws get quite repetitive after a time, and we end up getting the same teams, etc. Like we went through a phase of playing the Faroe Islands and Lithuania a few years ago, basically every group. But now I just want to avoid Ukraine.
They're quickly becoming the new Israel.
Yeah, I've been saying that,
Lithuania.
but
Yeah,
I mean,
we played Lithuania in 4 successive Euros qualifying groups,
yeah,
which is just a very odd thing to happen. It's like when Argentina always played Nigeria at the World Cup.
yeah,
Or England San Marino, as we're speaking of there.
yeah,
It's one of those. I think, to be honest, if you looked at the pots just from a distance and didn't know about the Nations League, you'd probably think that pot 2 was actually pot 1. If you got the world champions in there.
mm-hmm.
It's very odd, I suppose, because you could get a group genuinely like the group we faced in Euro 2008, where it was exceptionally hard. So you could get Italy, Ukraine, Greece, Slovakia, which should just be, the one you want to avoid.
Absolutely.
But the good news, I think, is there's a lot of games, even in pot 1. There's three, maybe even 4 teams in pot 1 that you think we can beat. And considering you only need to finish in the top 2 of the group to go through, I think you've got to be quite optimistic.
Oh, 100%.
I just really want to avoid Norway because I don't
no. Norway is the one to avoid in pot 3 because of just that one player. And of course, it's really expensive to get a drink over there.
It's a country I've been to as well many years ago, so I kind of want to go to a different.
Yeah,
because that would be the one you'd go to, wouldn't it? If it was Norway.
Oh, definitely. But we've got 44 in the chat right now. Feel free to put in your dream draws, and we'll read them out. Alex, what is your dream draw?
So, ideally, I want a draw of 5. Purely just because, when you're playing Andorra, San Marino, Liechtenstein, it's just like, you can't get up for it really as much, and it's the type of game you probably still somehow find a way to draw. So I'd probably go Poland from pot 1.
Yeah.
Obviously that's from pot 2. Pot 3, Albania, I think. You could even go Armenia, but we just played Armenia, and probably again you want to play someone different.
Yeah.
Pot 4, Luxembourg. Pot 5, Gibraltar. And then, hopefully you don't have to play a pot 6 side, but Andorra. Just we've not played them.
I always love playing a pot 6 side. Like I actually went to San Marino. It is a fantastic place to go until the football starts.
It's another country off the list as well.
Yeah. So that's my most bizarre adventure. San Marino away. But I'll go through my dream draw after I've read out a couple of these comments. This is men's football, Brandon. Don't worry. This is gender neutrals. Goodness. The Hibs Motherwell vlog will be out after this stream. This is sort of a mini way to hype up my vlog being posted from yesterday. It was something awful. No, I literally just got up about half an hour ago. That's the difference. But anyway, my dream draw, and also I'm due a haircut today, so my dream draw is in pot 1. I will take. I wouldn't mind Denmark again. I liked us playing them at home. We were pretty good. But I would say for something different, Switzerland. It's been a while since we played them. They'll be very difficult away, but I think we could take them at home. As for Hungary as well, I mean, we haven't actually lost to Hungary in a competitive match before, so that's always one to that'd be pretty nice if we got them. As for pot two, we've got Scotland in anyway. Pot three, I really want to avoid Ukraine, as I've already said. Norway as well, but one place I've always wanted to go is Montenegro, so that is who I want in pot three. In pot four, I'd like to go to Kosovo or North Macedonia because there's cheap drink there. Pot
I'd like to
five,
go there, but I wouldn't want to play them.
fair enough. As for pot five, we'll take Gibraltar. Absolutely, they are obviously the weak link in that pot, but also I'd like to go to Tallinn. So Estonia would be pretty nice to tick off the bucket list. And pot six, give us Andorra. We've never played Andorra before, so that'd be pretty nice as well.
There's one thing I should mention is obviously next year is the 150th anniversary for the Scottish FA. I'm sure people have seen the badge, which looks really cool.
Yes.
Getting in a group of five could be important for that, as I believe the FA are working on a very glamour friendly for next year.
Really?
Very big one. Yeah, I don't know who against, but I mean, when you that was the kind of line that I kind of heard from someone.
This could be a Brazil or Argentina.
That's what you think when you hear that. You think Argentina or Brazil. So
coming to Hampden, that would be sensational.
It would be.
So seeing Stephen Adolfo rings around Neymar, that'd be fantastic.
I don't think Neymar will come back after that. After he called the Tartan Army, he's going to get booed every time he touches the ball. 100%.
Will I be in Germany if Scotland qualify? Of course. Like I've already booked the tickets.
Do you know what? It's such a good tournament to go to. It's 100%. Like I think Germany's got easy country to get around. For me, I can speak a wee bit of German, so that's that makes it so much better. But yeah, it's the tournament you want to go to, especially compared to like Qatar or Russia or the last Euros where it was all over Europe. It's
Dean McDonald says, let's not talk about that San Marino game. That was one of the most brutal games of football you could have ever seen. Absolutely. Like the fact Kenny McLean scored of all people, I couldn't believe it.
Was that the 2-0 game?
The 2-0 game. It was Alex McLeish's last game.
I was getting booed the whole game. I now remember. I don't think I watched it live. That's how bad it was.
It was something kind of awful because there was about 3,500 Scotland fans in the ground, and everyone was booing Alex McLeish.
I still can't believe there was chat before the last Nations League game saying we should never have sacked him. And I'm like, are you joking?
I know.
He wouldn't have beat Serbia. Like, wouldn't have beat Serbia. Wouldn't have been the Euros. Certainly wouldn't have won a Nations League group. It wouldn't have made World Cup playoff. It's just, yeah. Would you take?
Graham Caldwell says, "Good morning, Goggsy and Alex. Hope you're both well. Would you take Italy in pot one? I actually don't think they are as strong as they used to be, and we could trouble them at Hampden. That's a good theory. I would like a trip to Italy. That'd be pretty nice. What about you, Alex?
Yes, if it was one of the Nations League teams, one of the nation from the UNL pot, then yeah, I think they're the weakest of the four. Watch them now win that tournament. Now that I've said that, we don't have a great record in Italy. I think it's fair to say. My dad was over there actually for I think when we played. I think it was 2006 World Cup qualifying.
In Bari? No,
but no, that was at San Siro. It was Euro 2008 was in Bari. So yeah, we played them twice in a row as well. And I think we just always came a bit short against Italy. At Hampden though, it'd be amazing. And I think if you look at the defence, Bonucci and Chiellini, they're not spring chickens anymore. And probably will be retire from international football soon, I imagine, especially Bonucci. So yeah. I'd probably take them of those four.
Scottish Baller, we haven't played North Macedonia since they changed name from former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. We've played them 4 times. We've lost once and beat them 3 times, if I can recall correct.
You talk about bad football games. The 1-0 defeat to North Macedonia.
Mostly after 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was a really bad free kick. I think the game got changed though. I remember all the build up to the game because the kickoff was 2:00 and it was on a Saturday and it was like 43 degrees.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was honestly, it was one of those things where you were watching it and you're like, Jesus Christ, this is why have we got George Burley as manager? I think it was that long ago. It was on Setanta Sports. That's what I remember.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I think it was the first game they showed.
I think you're right. I remember playing a I remember playing a boys' club game in the morning, and then we were all going back to mine to watch the game, and it was just one of the worst. We ended up going out at half time to just kick a ball about, and we came back. It was full time, and it was just an absolutely awful game. We didn't actually miss anything.
It was the result that cost us in that group because we were playing catch up afterwards because everyone else went. Well, say everyone else, Norway went to
the 4-0 defeat against Norway as well.
Yeah, but I think it didn't set us up well for that group. It was just complete. Considering we were on a very high point, having gone toe to toe with France and Italy and Ukraine only 6 months earlier, to coming into that group. Like, I would actually go as far to say Burley's probably the worst manager we've had in my lifetime because it was just such a big drop.
For me, Burley was so underwhelming. Whereas McLeish was just like I expected from the start. McLeish was just going to be awful.
I think he was just past it. Rather than being just complete. We went with McLeish off of past experience, off of his.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, went with Strachan, and so that was okay, which it really wasn't. The more stories you hear about how Strachan managed Scotland is like the stories about he didn't want to use the GPS on the players because he could see them. That was literally a family thing he said to one of the performance analysts. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, I would say it was worse than Levine because Levine at least had a set up very defensively. And yeah, he did play 4-6-0, but it worked for 75 minutes.
Yeah, it did.
And then Spain went and used that to win the Euros. So yeah, I think Levine kind of took a team that was not full of goal scorers and wasn't a great attacking team and tried to make the most of it. Burley just completely dropped us from being, very good pot 2 team to a very bad pot 3 team very quickly.
Yeah. We were actually world beaters in the 2008 campaign until we got beat in the last, essentially the last kick against Italy in that campaign.
Georgia wasn't exactly great either.
Yeah, I mean, there's always one game that lets us down, and it's usually against a pot 4 or 5 team.
So Slovakia or Northern Ireland away this time is probably the one to look out for.
Yeah. Definitely want to avoid.
Yeah, well, I mean, Slovakia record's not great. I mean, obviously we played them in Europe in the last World Cup qualifying, 2018 World Cup qualifying, and we lost 3-0 away. And again, a terrible performance. I think at home, Chris Martin scored in the 86th minute. I think that was the campaign where we just scored late goals.
Yeah, I remember that because I wasn't at the Slovenia game that campaign, but I was at the Slovakia one where I think it was Skuttle with the own goal.
Yeah, that seems right. Yeah, because we played. I wasn't at the Slovenia game either, but the Slovenia game I think we scored 2 late goals in that one as well. Because that was a tournament. That was a tournament where I think we scored every goal at home after 80 minutes.
Yeah,
because
that's apart from Gibraltar. It was apart from Gibraltar, I think, because we beat them 6-1. We beat them 6-1 at home and 6-0 away. And then we drew 2-8 with Slovenia away. We beat them at home 1-0. We lost 3-0 away at Slovakia, but beat them 1-0 at home. And then drew 2-8 at home with England and lost 3-0 away.
Yeah, that seems about right. Slovenia
Mm.
away was the final game of the campaign, and we were
Mm.
1-0 up, and I think everyone thought, "Oh, that's us, we're fine." Because I remember watching Belgium versus Bosnia Herzegovina like a day earlier, because that game
Yeah.
was crucial for whether or not we would be one of the best second place sides. I think
Mhm.
Belgium won 4-3 on a complete tatty field, and that meant that we just needed a win. And then, of course, we went and draw.
Yeah, aye. We'll read a couple more comments because they've got some silly live performance to start the draw.
Is that no? That's someone famous, isn't it?
Is it? I've never.
I think it's someone famous is singing.
I'm not sure, but anyway, Greg Livingston says Italy are beatable. They have, as we discussed, centre backs that are 35 and 38 years old. He says he'd fancy them. Only Craig Levine could have an absolute nightmare in the Czech Republic to pushing world champions Spain all the way at Hampden. Scottish Baller says that loss to Belarus is still in the head. Didn't we lose 2-1 at home against them?
Was that under? That was either under Craig Brown or Walter Smith. I think it might have been Craig Brown's last game, or was it maybe? Or it could have been Betty Votes actually.
It sounds like a
Yeah.
Betty Votes thing.
No, actually, at home, Betty Votes had a pretty decent record. So I think it was. I think it would have been. I think it was Craig Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Akichi Anya is one of those players who I've never seen play a club game. He's only ever played for Scotland in my head. I think he's still got a club, like it's like Watford or someone, but he doesn't even play for the reserves.
Yeah, wait, is he still kicking a ball?
I think he's not officially retired, but he effectively is because he's like say he's not played a game in like 2 years.
That's bizarre. We want Gibraltar as a cry from Hibs. We've got a Romanian in Dan Belibuaka. Is that how you pronounce it? I can only guess. Sorry if I butchered that.
I do not want to play Romania on in pot 3. I think that's I think it'd be a great away day and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that's a game where that's a very big banana skin for us.
Yeah, I mean, Bucharest is one on the bucket list for me, but at the same time, I don't think we're ready to face Romania away from home. Like, it is a very, like, I don't know if I'd say it's a banana skin because, like, I'd say Romania and us are almost on par on paper, but it's just the fact that there are a lot of similar quality teams throughout the draw that you could potentially get. And we could have 3 or 4 teams that are potential candidates for qualifying in the same group.
Potentially 5. Potentially 5.
Yeah.
I mean, like say if you got even pot 5, you've got Slovakia and Northern Ireland, even Cyprus. I mean, those are sides that we don't have. So it must have been Walter Smith then for Belarus
Yeah, it
defeat.
was Walter Smith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it wasn't Boats. I knew it wasn't Mick Votes. Not
Yeah.
Boats. But
because that was a group of 5 that time. For the 2006 World Cup, I think we were in.
Yeah, because we had to beat Italy. It was Norway, Italy, Belarus, and I want to say Faroe Islands.
I think it was the Faroe Islands.
Yeah, that seems to fit. I think
wasn't there a game
I think it might have been Lithuania.
Didn't we draw 2 each away at the Faroes?
That was definitely under Bertie Votes though. That was his. I think that was his first game.
We were 2-0 down after like 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So that game that group was Germany, Iceland, Lithuania, Faroe Islands.
A very northern group, if I must add.
Yeah, well, it was actually. Yeah. Because we finished second in that group to go to the playoff when we got absolutely battered by the Netherlands. I think my dad's now barred from going to the Netherlands because the twice he's seen Scotland lose 6-0 and United lose 7-0. So
Oh,
And the other time he went was when Hibs lost 7-0 to Malmo. I know that it just happened to be at the same time, but I think it's
yeah.
just banned. Every time he goes, a Scottish side loses by a very large margin. So next time while we're in Europe, we'll plan a family
Yeah,
holiday.
that'll be a while. But was he in the Netherlands when we played Sligo by any chance?
Oh, see, yeah. We would take
When you
no.
to the Netherlands?
We would not take the Netherlands. I would
No,
not.
no,
They are
they're far
very,
too
very
good.
good.
I mean, I wouldn't
On the
mind
plan.
going to Amsterdam, but at the same time, it's not favourable. I would much rather see our chances of actually getting through. But at the same time, it's not always a bad idea to have a team that will just batter everyone, because you can sort of rely on them for a result if you're needing another team to get beat.
Yeah, I think that's quite helpful. If you think like, although I was thinking Euro 2016, then Germany kind of screwed us over by
By getting beat by
losing to
Republic of
Ireland.
Ireland. Aye, that
But
was awful.
that's probably, consider it's the top two that qualify. You only need to finish second in the group, so having a very strong pot one side is probably more a blessing than a curse. Especially if it's like a kind of middling pot three side, someone like the Republic of Ireland, who probably can't, who we know can beat us, but we know we can beat them. But they're not going to be able to beat any of the probably pot one sides. They just don't have the quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But also, I'm thinking about the big allocations, because I'm wanting to go to every away game next year.
It's weird, isn't it? I mean, the SSC points are. I think I've got 7 now. Haven't just been to all the home games.
I think they've just taken the San Marino game off, so I think I'm on 9 or 10 points.
It's annoying because so for example, for the Ukraine game away in Poland, it was so easy to get a ticket for it, but the official allocation was like only like 1,000. So
it was 1,056, and I mean, I managed to get 2 tickets for like £7.50 each. It was very good. It was a very memorable trip.
It was one of those ones where it looked like, that looks class. Like, even though the game was utterly like terrible.
So bad, but off the pitch it was amazing. Like, it was one of the best experiences of my life. Greg Livingston says, would both of you fancy Azerbaijan? No, not getting to Baku, but I mean, I know it's a pretty good seat. It would be a great away day, but it's too expensive to get there, I think.
It's really expensive there as well, because obviously it's like a massive oil exporter. And it's also, I don't like going to dictatorships. General rule of thumb. So I don't think it's probably one of the countries. But first of all, if we get them in our group, we can't get Armenia, which I think of the two, Armenia is probably a much nicer away day. I know we just had them, but I think we'd probably take more for a Euros qualifying game than a Nations League game. And it just screams a game we'll lose away from home. It just absolutely screams it. You just, even under Clark, I just can't see us going there winning 3-0 like we should do. We'll manage a 2-1 defeat, and then we'll be 2-0 down after 10 minutes, and somehow get a goal.
You're just reminding me too much of Kazakhstan.
Or Georgia, obviously, being the obvious one that's there.
No, as LG and Cow says, just give us all our games in Europe. That'd be a blessing, in my opinion.
So just no Turkey, no Azerbaijan.
I don't want to go past. I don't want to go past the political Iron Curtain. That's just the way I see it. I mean, if we go any further east than Poland, it's going to be difficult. But me saying
that, you just say you wanted Estonia.
Yeah, but that's just north of Poland.
Well, it was part of the Soviet Union, though.
It was, but you know.
Aye. Well, I mean, I think Iron Curtain's
like I don't mind. I don't look. I think it was a bit harsh in the Iron Curtain, but it's like I wouldn't mind the Baltics, but apart from that, any further east, it'll be more difficult to travel to.
Yeah, well, anything that flies over Russia, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah,
Obviously, we
definitely.
can't play Russia, which is good this time. So we won't be playing a team of doped up uh, superstars allegedly.
Yeah,
I joke about that, but like they genuinely were. I mean, I think the players last this World Cup qualifying, wasn't it, that we had
Mhm.
Russia in our group. It's no wonder
Yeah,
we lost 4-1. It wasn't inept tactics. I mean, we're playing against guys who were,
yeah,
let's
pretty
just say,
much.
probably not clean.
Oh, definitely. I mean, when I
Um,
saw Artem Zuba play against us at Hampden, he was like a drugged up Michael Higdon. He was absolutely amazing.
it's that's the issue you've got, I think, as well, because they all
Mm,
played. I think most of them played domestically, so they don't have to do the dope tests or they can fake them. They played in
yeah.
Europe, played in top five league, or I was going to say played in Scotland, but SFA don't do dope tests.
Mm,
The the if you play in top five leagues, you will get tested every week. Play in Europe, you get tested every week.
mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
glad we don't play them this time.
Shout out to a different view, Stevie. How you doing, mate? Hope all's well, lad. Greg Livingston says easy away is the Faroe Islands. Well, we didn't make easy work of it last time we played them when Lyndon Dykes scored in the last 10 minutes.
That
Um,
was a tough watch, very tough
it
watch.
was a very difficult watch. Uh, how long have they got till this draw is actually made?
I mean, they just brought out Jurgen Klinsmann, so
So he'll be one of the guests drawing it.
yeah, they
Uh,
brought out him and they brought out Zambrotta, I think it was.
oh wow.
Um, so
Mhm.
obviously Italy reigning champions, Germany the
Yeah.
hosts. So that's kind of what they'll be going for. Um, so
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As long I'm all up for let Jurgen Klinsmann going on for as long as possible about how he scored goals in England for fun and Euro '96 and
Yeah,
how it
absolutely.
didn't come home. So yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah. Hello, John. I'm all right, mate. Who can we get? We'll run through the teams once more, seeing as we'll probably have enough time. Uh, in pot one, it's split into two different pots. One being the teams that are seeded for the Nations League because of the mini tournament that happens in the summer, which is the Netherlands, Croatia, Spain, and Italy. The rest of pot one teams are Denmark, Portugal, Belgium, Hungary, Switzerland, and Poland. In pot two, France, Austria, Czech Republic, uh, England, Wales, Israel, Bosnia, Serbia, Scotland, and Finland. In pot three, we want to avoid Ukraine. Then we've got Iceland, Norway, Slovenia, Republic of Ireland, Albania, Montenegro, Romania, Sweden, and Armenia. In pot four, Georgia, Greece, Turkey, Kazakhstan, Luxembourg, Azerbaijan, Kosovo, Bulgaria, the Faroe Islands, and North Macedonia. In pot five, there's Slovakia, Northern Ireland, Cyprus, Belarus, Lithuania, Gibraltar, Estonia, Latvia, Moldova, and Malta. And in pot six, there is Andorra, San Marino, and Liechtenstein. Also, another thing I want to say is if we get Belarus away, we can't go because they play in empty stadia.
Yes, they're playing at the minute. They're playing all the games outside Belarus in Serbia because Serbia absolutely love Russia, and Belarus,
Yeah,
and it's behind closed doors, which I think is a really kind of shit way of doing it. To be honest,
mhm,
I can understand they don't want home fans. That's absolutely fine, but this not allowing away fans to go
mhm.
does feel a bit like you're punishing fans for something that isn't the away team's fault or
Yeah,
or the away country's fault, or even the host country's fault. It's just that it seems a very odd
yeah, a hundred
way of
percent.
doing it.
I've never been a fan of closing the gates to fans of all sorts, but it's just one of the ways that UEFA sees fit, and it's a way to punish the home team. We've got another comment, and K Rob saying surprised Belarus are in this. Thought like Russia, they would be banned due to their support for Russia.
They should be banned. They really should be banned. I mean, other sporting governing bodies have banned them. Football does seem to be the one that's the most lenient when it comes to banning countries, or allows them to play under appeal or neutral flag or whatever.
It's
so
because
I'm not
there's
exactly.
more money in it.
Yeah, it is because of money, but again, Russia I can understand for financial reasons, but Belarus are hardly providing lots of money to UEFA. It's the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Given, I think it would have been fair for them to have been banned, because they're just as culpable in obviously the war.
They also apart from decency, they also had to think about the money, like the amount of the amount of companies that would have pulled the plug on sponsorships because Russia would have been involved.
Yes, yeah. Well, obviously, the big argument they had was Gazprom. Gazprom had paid so much money. I think it was 60 million euros a year to be a sponsor of the Champions League, which is, I think that was the most of any sponsor in football for a competition like that. So yeah, it's UEFA have to consider all these things, but 60 million shortfall or trying to look quite good, I think they can sacrifice that amount of money, and I think they've got other funding for it as well, and then obviously putting up the sort of peace in Ukraine at every ground was quite a nice fitting tribute as well to get it right up Gazprom.
Yeah, Paul Clapperton says dream draw: Poland, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Kosovo, and San Marino. I don't think Republic of Ireland can be a dream draw if we've just played them.
Kosovo, certainly not. I mean, Kosovo, I think, are a very, very good side.
Yeah, they've got some really underrated players.
Yeah, to be fair, their squad would be amazing if the players who chose Albania or Switzerland at Euro 2016 were allowed to choose Kosovo. So even guys like Shaqiri could have played for Kosovo. I think it's probably more likely we will get Kosovo because of the restrictions in the draw, because of Serbia and Bosnia, who are both in our pot, can't play Kosovo. It inherently then makes it more likely that we'll play them.
Yeah, it certainly does. One second, I'm just going to try and get the draw on the Chromebook I'm using because it keeps going off on my phone. Don't know why.
So I've got it on Opera browser, so I can kind of pop it out of the stream.
Oh yeah.
Stream, and then it just kind of it's really handy. I'm not paid for by them or anything, but I genuinely I started using it like about 6 months ago. Fantastic.
It's not a sponsor.
It's not a sponsor. It's not a sponsor. Another thing that's not a sponsor. I would not bow to any sponsor, but no. There was actually a thing. Papa John's on a Saturday. If you've got a match ticket, you get half price on pizza.
Oh, brilliant!
So I tried it last night, and you've got to go in person. You've got to order it in person. That's the only thing. But if you've got a season ticket or a match ticket for an SPFL club, you get half price on a pizza or any pizzas. So it was like
that's
a massive pizza that would feed like a whole family, like 10 quid.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, UEFA at the minute are just going through their restrictions on their draw. So obviously the big ones kind of mentioned there about the teams from countries that hate each other. So basically half the Balkans can't play each other. And the other big one is winter. So Kazakhstan, for example, can't host games during March or November. And I think there's some other ones as well, like Iceland can't do it.
Didn't we play Kazakhstan in March away from home?
Yeah, and I think that after that they realised that shouldn't be a thing. I think they had to play it indoors. I think they had to play it in a stadium with a roof.
Yeah.
I remember I was watching 21s played Kazakhstan recently, and it was snowing the whole game, and the LED boards in the stadium broke because they how cold it was, and it looked in the pitch recurrence. It looked absolutely horrible. And Scotland were like 2-0 up and conceded 2 late goals. 2 goals in stoppage time, and it was a 2-2 draw.
Yeah. Hello,
I think we
Kirsten.
might actually be getting underway.
Yeah, it looks like we're about to start, and we're only 40 minutes into the stream, so it's all right. Graham says, I think a fair draw would be Switzerland, Albania, Bulgaria, Lithuania, and Andorra. A couple of teams in there who we haven't played in a while, and some that we haven't actually played. Well, we played Albania twice. We played Bulgaria a couple of times. Special mention to the Kirin Cup win. Lithuania we haven't played in a while, and Andorra we haven't played at all. I mean, there are a few teams in there that we haven't played full stop. Still, like Kosovo and Azerbaijan, we've never played. Luxembourg, it's been a while since we've played them in a competitive game, and North Macedonia as well. And Turkey is also a team that we haven't played a competitive game against, which is a bizarre one. But anyway, we are off and running. Spain are in Group A.
Netherlands are in Group B. So, that's obviously the Nations League teams are getting drawn in groups of 5, just to remind people, because obviously they're playing the Nations League finals in June next year, or July next year, whichever month it is. So it means that it is more likely if you're not one of those pot 1 sides, you're going to be in a group of 6. I think there's only 3 groups of 6, but there's a 50% chance for one of those pot 1 normal pot 1 sides that they'll be in that. Obviously, having Germany and Russia not taking part means that there's fewer groups of 6 than normal. I think remember Euro 2008 there was a group of 8, which was very odd.
Yeah, there was. That was a really bizarre one because we were in a group of 7.
Yeah,
because
and every other group was group of 7, and that group A was group of 8. It was very, very odd.
Yeah, I was actually more of a fan of bigger groups. I don't know why, but I think it was just because like it felt more like a league.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're playing 12 games.
Yeah. Dawn, the vlog will be up in the afternoon. It was meant to be up in the morning, but I sort of slept in. Oh, and the stream has crashed for the draw.
Mine hasn't. Mine's still going. So
is it still going?
So Belgium are in a group of 5. Poland are in a group of 5. Hungary, I think, are in a group of 5. So that means Denmark, Portugal, and Switzerland will be in groups of 6.
Oof.
If I've done my maths right. If not, then we're in big trouble.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for. I might have to just go back on my 4G. It's crashed, so I'm just gonna put it back on my phone.
Yes, it was. That's Switzerland group
I. Yeah, I'm back up to
I.
now.
Yeah. I was very confused. It was like group I. It was like, oh yeah, there is 10 groups. Yeah. Portugal, yes. Group
J.
Group J. That was like a 3 on my stream to me for some reason. I think because it went through.
Oh
Here we are. We're on pot 2. It's us. Yay! We're quite high up in the draw for a change.
I know. I almost don't feel ready for us being pot 2. Like it feels too early in the draw for Scotland to be pot 2.
Yeah, it's like the Euros, Nations League draw, because we're obviously like bottom seeds or second seeds, and it took us quite a while.
Yeah. Right. Who's
that's
first?
us. That's us. What group? We're in group. We're in group A, I think. Spain. We've got Spain.
Oh, we've got Spain away. Come on.
Yes. There we go.
You know what?
Take that. We'll get hammered, but I'll take that. So group
We
of
may get
five.
hammered away from home, but
So in group of five, we can't play Andorra, San Marino, Liechtenstein. We can't play Kosovo either, I don't think.
we can't. We can't play Gibraltar either.
Yes.
Because Gibraltar and Spain have a political thing, so we can't play it.
Yeah.
It seems one of the most pointless political separations as well, because like they're not like competitive. But
yeah.
But yeah, Spain at Hampden will be rocking, as the latest comment says.
Italy and England in the same group.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, that's fun. Netherlands and France as well. So there's a lot of tasty ties. I think UEFA are very happy at these
Oh
draws.
yeah, like the money in this is going to be absolutely sensational for them.
Yeah, Premier Sports are rubbing their hands. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not quite sure if they've got England rights for this tournament. I don't think they've actually been sold. England's rights for the Euro 2024 qualifying.
But I'm actually quite happy with Spain. Like
it's in a way, especially if it's March or November for the Spain games, because then it'll be perfect. So it won't be too hot. You can go there
and Scotland are always like Scotland are always strongest in like the last 3 months of the campaign as well. So if we get them at home to almost end the group, because Spain will have nothing to play for because they'll have already won the group.
I think the pot one side, it's kind of relevant to it, but it kind of isn't because it's top two to qualify. That's really what we need to focus on. Finishing second, that's the main objective. It's not about winning the group; it's about finishing second.
Yeah.
Now it's really like who's going to be pot 3, who's going to be pot 4, who's going to be pot 5.
Yeah. Just a reminder: the pot 3. The pot 3 teams that we can get will be Ukraine, Iceland, Norway, Slovenia, Republic of Ireland, Albania, Montenegro, Romania, Sweden, and Armenia.
They're just finishing off the pot 2 teams right now. I think we've got. See, just seeing Israel out the hat, and it's so much nicer to see them out the hat and not in Scotland's group.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a while since we've been like in Spain. It's like I remember David Goodwillie scored.
I was trying not to mention him, but yes, I remember he scored in the Saturday. Yeah. I don't think we can well to mention his name.
Yeah,
I think that game was played in Alicante as well. It was quite a weird place for it to be played.
It's funny. It's funny because Jim Leishman told me a funny story about him going to Alicante for the Spain-Scotland game, because they got free tickets and went over, and he ended up turning up really, really pissed, and he still got in somehow. Right,
did he say, do you know who I am? Lord Provost of Fife.
Yes, of the Kingdom of Fife.
Kingdom of Fife, yes. Kingdom of Fife being it.
He always says the Kingdom of Fife. Right, that's the first.
Sorry.
Here's the first. This is the team we'll be getting.
Not off.
Norway. Oh, man. Erling Haaland is coming to Hampden. Oh, shit. Oh, no. That's no good.
Well, you can do things the easy way, or you can do things the Scotland way.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the two I really wanted to have.
The annoying thing as well is that getting tickets for the away game is very hard because I think the Olaval Stadion only holds like 20,000. So Probably only going to get 800 tickets. It's the one. It's the one thing they didn't want to happen, as they would say in the day to day. But yeah, it's not exactly a great start. Spain and Norway.
Mate, we're gonna have to rely on the playoff. I'm telling you right now, like we're gonna have to rely on that playoff.
Okay, well let's be rational here. Norway didn't win their Nations League group. Okay, they have one good player
who is an absolute cheat code.
Yes, an absolute cheat code. But they right, okay. Put it this way: if you took him, like he doesn't, he's playing for Norway. He doesn't have De Bruyne. He doesn't have Riyad Mahrez. Doesn't have Bernardo Silva playing with him, right?
Uh-huh.
I was going to say he doesn't have Phil Foden playing with him. That's probably more a handicap than anything. He's not. He is an amazing player, but he won't be the same player for Norway than he is for Manchester City or he was for Borussia Dortmund, because he's not playing with as good players playing with him, right?
I'm trying to think. You've also got Alexander Sorloth in there. We've got
John McGinn. We've got Andy Robertson, right? We've got more Champions League winners than they do.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Right? More players to have won the English Premier League. More players to have won. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what the point I agree with there. Odegaard is a good player. Yeah, I'm not. But yeah. Okay, well, we just need to score 2 goals a game, man.
Yeah.
I'll be positive here.
It's going to be one of those ones where I think we'll lose away, but we'll beat them at home. That sort of thing. Because we often do that with a pot 3 team or a pot.
Yeah.
Pot 4.
Yeah.
It's bizarre because like this is going to be really tight between second and third. And it all comes down to who we get in pot 4 and 5.
Yes, it will be very, very tight. Pot 4 is just coming up now. Again, it's Georgia, Greece, Turkey, Kazakhstan, Luxembourg, Azerbaijan, Kosovo, but don't think we can play them. Bulgaria, Faroe Islands, and North Macedonia. So watch this be Greece or Turkey, just for patter.
It'll end up being a tourist group.
Seaside leagues.
Yeah, it'll end up being like one of these old Thomas Cook package groups. Like you've got Spain, Norway, Greece or Turkey, and Slovakia just as a wild card in pot 5.
Oh, Georgia. It's Georgia.
Oh, no way, man. We've never won.
This is the cursed group of. This is so cursed.
A group of death.
We've managed to pick 3 sides we have a pretty terrible record against, which is quite exceptional.
Man.
Okay, think about it. Pause. Georgia are on the up. They're better than when we've played them in the past. However, we are still better than them. There's a reason we are a pot 2 side and they're a pot 4 side. Yes, they are the pot 4 side, but we should beat them at home, and I think we can beat them away. So that's the way we have to think about it.
We have a demon to exercise.
They do have one amazing player, though.
Doesn't he play for Napoli?
Yeah, he plays for Napoli. Maradona, as they call him. So this is the group of great number 10s. or great sort of number 10s and / second strikers, but okay, I think we've got to be positive. Georgia as a country, okay, we don't have a great record against them, but we can beat them. Like Norway, we don't have a great record against them, we can beat them. Spain, we don't need to beat them. So we have to think about this, positively. And there's a reason why we won our Nations League group. It's because we could beat teams of this standard.
We beat Georgia at Ibrox last time we played them.
Yeah, it was Commie Games that was shot for the entire group, I think, actually.
Yeah. And Georgia was actually the first ever Scotland game I went to when we beat them 2-1. Craig Beattie scored at the last minute.
can't even remember that. Was that
That
was Euro
was
2008?
yeah. So it
Yeah.
was. I think it was the 23rd of March 2007.
Oh, okay. I forgot Craig Beattie played for
Or was
Scotland.
it the
Honestly,
24th of
that was
March?
it.
Something like that. Aye. It was Chris Boyd scored after 9 minutes, shot at Arveladze equalised after 20, and then Craig Beattie in the 89th minute, I think.
Arveladze. That's a name that I think
He's
quite a
just
few
been
people
sacked by
remember.
Hull.
Yeah, they've got Turkish owners as well now, haven't they? So they'll probably just be getting in like a really
Yeah.
expensive, has-been manager. So Harry Redknapp.
I suppose it could be a lot worse. I mean, we could have had Ukraine. I think Ukraine are a tougher draw. That they're a better team all round than Norway, in my opinion. And we've just beaten 3-0. So we've got two more teams to be drawn in pot 4, and then we've got pot 5.
And yeah, we won't draw pot 6 sides, just to
No.
remind people, because Spain are
Yeah.
in the Nations League. So yeah, again, Slovakia and Northern Ireland and potentially Cyprus are the three teams to avoid in terms of footballing thing, and you probably want to avoid Belarus because you won't be able to go. So yeah,
you know what? Malta would be pretty interesting. Wouldn't you mind? As I said earlier, Estonia, even Lithuania. I'd happily take Lithuania on a downwards curve.
no, they were crap in the Nations
They've
League.
been
I watched
awful
quite a bit of
for
the Nations League C and D just because I thought it was quite interesting to watch,
But here we
and
go.
they were not good.
No,
Uh,
I mean they've been getting beat by the likes of Luxembourg quite comfortably. They failed
Gibraltar,
them.
yay!
Oh, we've got Gibraltar.
Oh no, we can't. No, we won't,
No,
because they'll be Spain, so they'll
they'll
be
be in
moved to
Group
Pot
B.
B. They'll be moved to Group B. So they're now in the Netherlands, France, Ireland, Greece group. Oh god, that's a
Yeah.
tough group.
Ooh.
So we've got Cyprus.
Oh,
Okay.
anyone fancy Ayanapa? Goodness me.
That's no. That's
The Thomas Cook group of death is Spain, Scotland, Norway, Georgia, and Cyprus.
yay, fun. You know what I've always wanted is I think Spain and Georgia would be the away trips I'd be planning.
I mean,
I don't like Cyprus. I don't fancy Cyprus that much.
well, the fact that we're going to be there'll be obviously 2 match days in which we'll be missing, so I think we'll have friendlies involved then.
That will be the glamour friendly.
The glamour friendly, yeah. I think out of the games, I mean, depends when we have Norway, because if Norway's in the summer, which I think it might be,
It probably will be because of the extreme weather conditions.
so if Norway's in the summer, which it probably will be, I'll hopefully be able to go to that. I mean, I know for a fact the missus will probably have her ear pinned to the door, listening on my potential travel plans, but I really want to go to Spain.
I think
Because
Spain's
that'd
the
be a
one that
memory.
I think is going to be pretty good,
Yeah,
especially if
Spain.
it's either early or late in the group.
Georgia is probably the one that I wouldn't be going to, but apart from that, I'm more than happy to plan each of the 3 other games. I hope Cyprus away is in like the November or October. Michael Presley says it's not as if Mother will get to go on European trips. I've just been on one. Cheeky. But yeah, I
Sorry,
literally
mate.
had.
I mean, then you need the passport.
Yeah, true. Well, I did actually just go to Poland, so if you didn't watch the vlog, please do, because the channel's sort of fallen off recently. Spain away in Madrid, that would be something else, or Barcelona.
I think the game would probably, if I had to make a guess, it would probably be Seville, because they've
Oh,
done a deal with the Athletic Stadium in Seville, not Sevilla or Real Betis's ground. They've done a deal with the Athletic Stadium that a lot of the games will be played there over the next few years. Purely because it's a massive white elephant and doesn't get used for anything else. So that would be my shout of where it will be. Or if it would be in Madrid, it would be Atletico's ground, because Real Madrid's ground is currently doing a massive renovation.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Wonder if Neil Lennon is up for a session Cyprus.
Brandon Barker.
Aye.
But
Adam Matthews.
more importantly, these are 8 games which Ryan Gauld can cement himself as a Scottish international hero.
Oh, aye. So, aye, Spain, Scotland, Norway, Georgia, and Cyprus. Like, it's an absolute tourist group.
Group A. Yeah. I mean, look, there's harder groups there, right? I think we should be sort of more circumspect. Serbia and Montenegro are in the same group, and I have no idea how UEFA have allowed that one.
How?
This is a group of death. I mean, a literal group of death. Hungary, Serbia, Montenegro, Bulgaria, and Lithuania.
Oh my god!
How they've allowed that one, I do not know.
I feel sorry for the referees. Like, someone is actually going to get stabbed in that group.
There must be banning fans from all those games. That's the only way they'll get them played.
Oh,
and even
definitely.
then, I mean, you've got to remember, they flew I think Serbia played Albania a few years ago. An Albanian fan flew the Kosovo flag over the stadium on a drone, and all the Serbian fans went absolutely mental. Like, caused a riot and stuff. Like, genuinely caused a riot.
That's like jumping on a hornet's nest.
Yeah, and then putting a grenade in it. Yeah, it's genuinely just completely. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read out the final groups, because I think it's all been drawn. So in Group A, obviously Spain, Scotland, Norway, Georgia, and Cyprus. In Group B, the Netherlands, France, Republic of Ireland, Greece, and Gibraltar. Group C, Italy, England, Ukraine, North Macedonia, and Malta. Group D, Croatia, Wales, Armenia, Turkey, Latvia. Group E, Poland, Czech Republic, Albania, the Faroe Islands, and Moldova. In Group F, there's Belgium, Austria, Sweden, Azerbaijan, and Estonia. Group G, Hungary, Serbia, Montenegro, Bulgaria, and Lithuania. Ouch. Absolute ouch. Group H, Denmark, Finland, Slovenia, Kazakhstan, Northern Ireland, and San Marino. Group I, there's Switzerland, Israel, Romania, Kosovo, Belarus, and Andorra. And Group J, Portugal, Bosnia, Iceland, Luxembourg, Slovakia, and Liechtenstein. Yeah, that is actually, as you said, it could have been a lot worse. Willie Collum or John B. Yeah.
They get Bobby Madden. They get Bobby Madden to do the Eternal Derby in Greece quite a lot, which I always thought was a very unusual choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very much up for Willie Collum having to go and referee Serbia Montenegro.
Right then, Gordon, where are you off to following Scotland and away? Everywhere. Well, we'll see where the fixtures land, because there could very easily be a double header there away from home, in which we could be like Georgia and Cyprus away, and that might actually be more convenient. You just have to sort of Google the sort of logistics.
Well, I was literally just going on Skyscanner and looking at Edinburgh to Tbilisi.
I'm just trying to think in my head the potential fixtures and when they would be.
Well, there's a bit more freedom because of the way that they do it, because it's obviously 10 dates that they can work with, and there's only 8 fixtures. as much as I do like a group of 5 for very many reasons, the only disadvantage of a group of 5 is that it does make you feel a bit. It does feel like you're losing consistency.
Yeah.
Whereas the last World Cup qualifying and the Nations League especially, I think this Nations League, because it was 2 blocks of 3 for us, or a block, or yeah, 2 blocks of 3, yeah, that I think worked really well. Because I think Steve Clarke quite likes that as we don't just show up and play one game, we show up and we'll play 2 or 3 games in a camp, and I think that can really sort of gel the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still a lot of the friendlies, and I think, having looked at the groups, I wouldn't be surprised if it's England we play in the friendly, if it's not one of South American sides, because they're in the group of 5 as well. So
yeah,
if I was the SFA, I think that would be the obvious one to go for. But I think most people would quite like the South American side.
Oh, I would prefer a South American side than England at the moment, but
Even Uruguay, I'd really like Uruguay. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Uruguay would be pretty outstanding as well.
Uruguay.
Michael Presley says qualifying for the Euros in Germany would be amazing. Football supporters dream in that country. Yeah, absolutely. It's just it's not as easy as I had planned it to be, because of course I had this dream draw and I was like, yes, that would be absolutely sensational. But Kerry says pot by pot, Scotland got one of the hardest countries. Yeah. In each of the pots,
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, by rankings, yeah. I mean, Georgia were the top pot 4 side, Norway were third top pot 3 side, and Cyprus were second, no, third top pot 5
third top pot 5.
Yeah, so yeah, but again, I don't think you can read too much into that, because if you've got teams getting relegated from Nations League or winning you're going to, that's why you have pots, basically.
Yeah.
Whilst we are one of the top pot 2 sides, so they might be thinking, if you're Norway, thinking, oh no, not Scotland, they just absolutely smashed Ukraine. They won the Nations League group. They're quite strong standing. They've got Champions League winners on their side, so it's the same for both teams. Yeah. And I don't think any of these countries. This is a very old Fermi fan thing to say, but I don't think any of the countries would be looking forward to coming to Hampden.
Mm-hmm. Michael Presley says, "Did you hear Russia are allowed to get in this Euro draw? They're not. They can't be in Group B. We've just read out.
They're no in Group B.
Stop trying to make us check."
I feel like there's some sort of joke here that's a way to get made.
There is. I'm just waiting for the punchline.
It's like, B for band or something like that. Some really bad joke coming.
Yeah, there's gonna be some horrible dad joke. Boo! That's awful. There's not even a proper punchline. It's just. Get Argentina at Hampden for Messi's international farewell. It's written in the stars. But that would be sensational.
That'd be pretty cool, to be fair. I was having a look at some of the, because I was having a look at because the only similar times I can think to this is when new stadiums have been opened, or something like that. So obviously England played Brazil, one of the first games at Wembley. I think that was the game that officially opened it. Sweden played England at their new stadium when they opened it. So it's that sort of. It'll be interesting to see how much Maxwell and Co can try and suck up to.
Oh yeah, they would definitely try it. But anyway, on that note, I'm pretty sure we both have things to do for the rest of the day, so we're going to leave you off there. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming in. Thanks to Alex for being my co-host today.
Thanks very much for having me. Hopefully, I'll be
all the
back.
statistics in the world. But on that happy note, Scotland will be playing Spain, Norway, Georgia, and Cyprus in a bid for a place at the Euros in 2024. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Take care.